where shadows lie. Here they find a brighter sky. Every step, every mile, they're reaching for the American style. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. Factories hum with a steady grace, ideas born in this boundless space. A light bulb flash, a towering steel in every corner. The promise feels real. From the ground to the stars, we're built on dreams, we're raising bars. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for. The grass is greener in America, where freedom sings, where hearts run wild. The grass is greener in America, a shining city, a dream compiled, the place the world keeps reaching for.
Hey folks, welcome back. How's it going? Just need to send a message to moderators. All right, so I just sent a message out to my moderators. Somebody thinks they're clever. You're gone. I took care of it. He's gone. He's gone. Sorry, I don't usually like to block people, but you're going to act like an ass. Okay, so I just unhid, but I will give a timeout. See if he can behave himself when he comes back. Welcome back, folks. So again, I told you you're going to get moored. You're going to get moored if you act like an ass, and somebody comes in right away and acts like an ass with 2 stupid comments. So you're blocked, little retards. All right, so anyway, there you go. So, Helena, welcome to you. Antonino Dia. My first statement of interest was in June last year, waiting for approval. Second time going. Their medicals will end in June. Okay, all right. See, your friend also dropped a video tonight. Ananda never sleeps. Not my friend, and I don't know what video she dropped. I didn't even know she made videos. May last year, we'll see your medicals expire 13 May. Hang in there. Okay. Well, yeah, finding accommodation's always been a problem. Housing is an issue. That's why you heard people paying $2,500 for an apartment in California. That's more than my mortgage for a house. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Okay. Now we measured our hand luggage is too big. It's extended space thing, so I have to sell it. I had US New York all over it. Helena, sorry. What is Helena? Oh, she's upset about that. Now they take the wheels in consideration. Well, a lot of hand carry bags of wheels are retracted inside, so it's not really a major issue. But Lucinda, welcome to you. Reading all messages and all worry about is that I stuffed up my second interview. No, don't stress out. We just talked to Walter and Yvonne earlier. Walter did his interview from USCIS. He went home and he said, "We're done. I screwed it up. We're not going to go in the program. There's no way we're going over." So, yeah, so he was wrong. He was wrong. If you were honest, don't worry about it. You're honest. I mean, I don't know what you're looking for. There, in fact, there's Walter right now. Yeah, exactly. He just said it. I walked out, I told my wife I messed it up, we're done for, and here we are. Exactly. So don't stress. Annalie Borman, welcome to you. Tian Funikek, welcome to you. Alma Sunflower, I got to turn the alerts back on. So, alert box, here we go. All right, there you go. It's back on. If any of you haven't watched the interviews with refugees, please watch them. It's amazing. Yeah, you should watch the playlist for refugees. Just go to my playlist. We've done over 50 interviews with refugees, starting with Thea von Straten last year in Linwood East, before any refugees came to America, disproving the lie the BBC claimed they had the first interview with refugees. They didn't. I did. Courtesy of Thea, who reached out to me, gave me the bugger off bunny, who's become a staple of this program. And we spoke in Linwood East. So, yeah, the media just lie all the time. They're just astonished. Crimple Pop says, my daughter changed my profile name, so you know me as Gerhard Vikestein. Now it's Crimple Pop. Okay, after our ID. Do we need to pay for our future and our appliances? What do you mean pay for your future? I don't understand that. And appliances. Most places come with appliances, and the exceptions if you move into a brand new house. But even then, you typically have a range that's included. So, for instance, I bought a brand new house, new construction, when I moved to Pennsylvania, and the oven and the microwave, one unit built in, was in the wall. No refrigerator, no washer and dryer, but the microwave was there and the oven was there, and the dishwasher. I didn't have to provide a dishwasher or those things. They were in the house. But most rental places have a refrigerator and a stove. You might not have a microwave, though. Kaffee, what's going on? Winnie Gen X, Martin, Westhouse, Yassine, Sally's here. Who else I missed? Nico Sculpt, welcome to you. Big Fish. Okay, now we're the next one. Varoshka's here. Utopi, Pat Meister. By the way, I'll be having a coffee with Varoshka, and if the other refugees are there, if they want to come along, you can invite them, Varoshka. I'll be coming by later this afternoon. This will end probably around 3:30, so maybe 5 o'clock. We'll say for 5 o'clock. I'll come by and Carlisle, and we'll have a coffee, or at least chill out and say hello. Okay. JFF Tennyson, how's it going? Charmaine Karstens, how are you doing? Okay. Keith, what's up? Sharon Goslin, hello. The Colonel's in the house. I am. Candace, welcome to you. Arena what? Georgina Samuels. By the way, I did not get the emails. I have several names right here of people whose emails I'm supposed to read all down here. I haven't gotten to those. I got to some other emails I had to address this morning, but it's just the time is really tough, folks. There's a 10 Rand 49 from Sharon. Big piece of pie. Thank you for that super sticker. Very kind of you. Carl's, welcome to you. Coco, Thing of Nouns is back. Sydney Little. Sweets Nolan, hello. Can't believe it's been a year. Yeah, it has been a year, May 12th. We'll be celebrating or commemorating May 12th for those who've come over shortly. Felicity Duprier, welcome to you. Ratel, Tian van Niekerk, hello to you. Sally, Keith, USA, Johan Barnard, Yvonne Skeppers, Tampa Chick. Hey, Tampa Chick. I'll be in Tampa this coming weekend. Maybe we can say hello. Maddie Jacobs, welcome to EB123. Liesel Blue Ogis, welcome to you. Rick Fern Boxing, how's it going, Rick? And who else am I missing here? James Warren, Debbie, Yves Lombard, Cecilia Kruger, Anton Mulder, Debbie Fox is here. Hey, Debbie. Debbie's a big-time super chat in this program. Proudly Born Meisty's back. Sally, the American Online. Good to see you again there. How are you? Good evening, everyone, moderators. You asked me to do a poll, so let's do this poll, okay? All right. This is obviously a program for refugees, so where are you in the process? Okay, so we got pre-January 2026 limbo. Okay, I'll call that pre-January 2026. Or pre-2026. We'll just call it pre-2026, not January. Pre-2026, because January is 2026. Pre-2026 limbo. USA. Okay, add an option for... what's another one? Okay. Okay, here we go. 4 options. There's your poll. Please answer the poll. 361 people currently here. Feel free to answer the poll. So any of you little troublemakers out there, I've already moored one person. I'll moor other people that act like fools. So take that as a serious warning, okay? All right, so Grand Wizard. I'm a wizard. What am I Grand Wizard of? Okay. Was great seeing you today. It might be my last day, but we definitely see each other on the other side. Candace says to Cecilia. Okay, so you still... Zay Martinez is back. How you doing, young lady? What's going on? Okay, Spook, good evening. Welcome to you. Okay, what else? I did a PRM, so I can get contact 2nd December. From there, everything moved fast. Interview, into January. From there, we're still in adjudication. Okay. Otto George Basingthwaite. Wow, that's an interesting one, Otto. How's it going? It jumped on me here. My chat jumped a big spot. There it is. Okay. Don't the microwaves rust when they're mounted above the stove? No. They're built into plastic frames and such so that they don't rust. Good question, though. Good question, Vernon. The only problem with mine is that my microwave stopped working. After about 8 years, it just quit working. So it spins, power goes to it, but it doesn't create any microwaves. So I use an old microwave that's almost 30 years old sitting on the counter. So people must chill. We started the program March 25, and on 16th December, we had to redo medical. 1 April, still waiting. Okay. All right, Adele, thank you for sharing that. Night of Justice, welcome to you. Heinrich, welcome. So the best interview for my wife and I has been yesterday is Kaffee. Really inspiring. And who are we to complain about delays in our process? We have to keep our heads down. Well, Big Fish, people are welcome to complain. They're not welcome to be nasty. That's a different situation. Matthew Dixon is here. Welcome, Matthew, our resident troll, who is on good terms. Tanya Grief, welcome to you. Linda. William Wheeler's here. Hey, William. Rena von Staden, welcome to you. And Rolling Right Auto Party Limited. Is the refugee program still running as normal? Yes. We applied 5th of March and waiting our contact. Well, your timeline is very short. It's not normal to be contacted that quickly. There is no path. There's no set timeline. But 5 March, if you put your intake questionnaire in, there's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people ahead of you. I don't think people realize. I think everybody thinks that like 100 people have applied for this program. No. We will have a very big surprise, most likely in 2 days. And thank you, Rena von Staden, for your membership. In 2 days, we're likely to have a very big surprise at the number that came over. This April 2026 is the first month since this program was created that people were able to travel every day of the month. Now, I'm not saying that people came over every day, but it wasn't far off from that. So every day of the month, people were able to come over. It's the first complete month in the refugee program ever, since it started in May of last year. May, they came on the 12th. May, obviously, it couldn't be. June, nobody came except for one family that was supposed to be in the first 100. Thank you for the 14 Rand there, Andres Muller. Stuck here, slipping through the cracks. Andres, and I'm sure it feels that way. And then Arnold Nevling gave 70 Rand super sticker. Thank you very much for that. So we've never had a full month. So when the data comes out on the 5th, I'll be reporting on it, and it's likely to be a rather surprising number. If it's lower than 2,000, I'll be surprised. So we'll see. I'm not saying it's 2,000. I'm saying we don't know until that data comes out. Sally's here, CBB, Iceman. Oh, Mandy Dolph gave it 35 Rand. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Super sticker. Very kind of you, Mandy. Just saw your beard the way it was on your intro video. Yeah. Okay. Waiting for orientation, says VR junkie man. Okay. This might be my last live until I get sorted that side. We'll join. Well, okay, Candace, that's great. That's great. Just take care of yourself, get settled, and we'll see you back here when you get here, okay? But let me know when you've arrived, okay? Feel free to take pictures of, landing, wherever you're landing, stuff like that if you want. Apologies not participating in the poll, says Carl. That's fine. Dog Break says, getting there, okay? And then Tower, good evening. Tower, good evening to you. Anna Lopeman. Anel Lopeman. Hello to you, sorry. And Anel Lopeman. Who else we got there? Wow, a lot of stuff coming up here. Thank you, Duncan, for your membership. I'm sorry for missing things. The 12th of December had our second interview last Tuesday. Okay, Martin, so that's progress. Speedy Gonzalez, medical expired 21 May. All stage schedule completed. Only cultural orientation travel left. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, Melinda, that's where I was at. Is that Melinda Holzhausen? Welcome to you. Janine Williams, hello. Coco's back. Matthew Dixon, waiting for orientation. Yeah, Matthew, you need an orientation, brother. You need to send email today. Could please have a look at seeking guidance regarding case and citizenship inquiry. Okay, Charlie. Yeah, well, if you have UK citizenship, it might be a problem unless you have someone that doesn't have that, that's a qualified person. Nicola's in from Bolito. Welcome. Chi Gussis, welcome to you. Rainier Osthuizen. Utopi's here. Welcome back, Utopi. Barbie's back. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Okay, Skulk Loopsher's here. Welcome to you. Sean Furry, the alternative best subscription service in the U.S. to watch rugby. Well, the World Cup, no. The best subscription service, you don't get a choice. There's only one choice. But the best subscription service to watch South African rugby would be Flow Rugby. Flow, F-L-O Rugby. That's the one you want to sign up for, Flow Rugby. It's about $70, maybe $80 a year. And you get URC, Curry Cup, some U.S. test matches, most of the Springboks test matches, but the World Cup, NBC owns the rights, and they make you get Peacock, which sucks. Just sign up for it when the World Cup comes and then cancel it afterwards. That way you don't pay too much. Last night I signed up for Acorn because I got tired of all the shows I want to watch I can't see. I'm about ready to cancel my cable. Just keep it for internet, the way things are going. Okay, Madeline Ruiz, hello to you. Oh, yes. Let me look and see in that account. So this account has 21,000 unread email messages. That's my personal account. 21,000 unread email messages. And in this account here, and by the way, that number goes up to 30,000. I'm down. This one here has 6,760. I went through and answered hundreds of email, 1,000 actually, the past week in that account. So I had 9,000 when I was in Virginia. I shared it with somebody. Now it's down to 6,700. So over 2,000, almost 2,300 answered. Neff, thank you for your membership. Okay, Zay Martinez says, hey, Colonel, I'm doing much better. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm doing okay, just keeping busy. Please elaborate on administrative action required, please, Colonel. Can I elaborate on administrative action required? What do you mean administrative action? For what? Are you talking about for on the portal? My case? No. That means they've got to take some action. Someone's got to process something. But I would not navel gaze on the portal. All my questions have been answered, Colonel. It's just a matter of patience for me now. Tomorrow is my just trusting God. Pizza party, don't spaz out. Don't freak out. Just be honest. Just be honest. The best of your ability, okay? When I finally arrive in the U.S., I'm afraid I won't even recognize my own daughter, says Heinrich. On the move. Would like to know how many people whose flights were canceled still. Well, I would like to know, too, on the move. I don't know. I don't have any accurate information. Someone supposedly sent me a list of like 200 names, but I mean, I've not shared that with anyone that would never have that sort of thing. So I don't know the real answer on that. I know that people from October, supposedly some are still there. I don't know, but I've met people who were in October whose tickets were canceled, and they're here. So it wasn't a lot of people. I mean, we were only sending 100 plus people over for that time frame, so we're only talking a couple thousand people maybe, but I don't know. Mom got approved for Las Vegas. Well, T. Gussis, Las Vegas rocks, man. Ask the folks out there. They're doing a great job out there. The refugee agency that I dealt with, which was the African Community Center. They're fantastic. People be patient. Some of us are here since day one, says Yassine. You're correct. Intake on the 5th of December, waiting for an interview, says Lucille Schneeman. Okay. I emailed RC and told them my urgent situation. They said there's nothing they can do. I'm under review. They said they would keep an eye out. All right. Oh, you got a human response, Helen. You know, that's actually a shocker. Arena von Staden, thank you for your membership. Applied 19 January 2026. Portal 16 approved 4 days ago. Okay. South African Anon. Okay. Gert Unger. My case is ready for departure. Must still do cultural orientation. Okay. Tian Fanikiak. Okay. Hi, sir. Is there a WhatsApp group? Well, there are lots of WhatsApp groups. You told me from my program. We have 3 groups. None of them you can comment in. They're only for information. So if you want to be in that group, one of the mods can put up a link to one of the WhatsApp groups that has space in it. Group 3 has space. People constantly lie about me and insult me and attack me and send me nasty emails because they're pissed off because someone was rude to them. And they're not my groups. People add me to groups. Sometimes they make me an admin. I don't even know about it. I mean, I've got thousands of WhatsApp messages coming in every day, and people add me to groups, and then people claim that I'm affiliated. I'm not affiliated with that because someone added me. Unless I tell you I'm part of a group, I'm not part of a group. I have my own groups for the news, but we have 3 for the Refugee. And from the very beginning, no one's been able to comment in them except my moderator and myself. No one else. That way you can't lie. No one can spew their racism. No one can put their bullshit in there. So anyone who claims it's my group and then I said this or I endorse this, it's just a bold-faced liar because we don't tolerate that. Andres Muller, stuck, slipping through cracks. Okay, Arnold gave 70. My medical expired 26 November. Expired, you mean? I hope I don't have to go again. Well, if your medical is expired on 26 November, you're going to have to go again if you stay in the program. It has to be current. They're only good for 6 months. 6 months. December, January, February, March, April, May. Well, you got till the 25th of May, so hopefully you get sorted and come over, God willing. Otherwise, you're going to have to do it again. I heard EBT is going to be taken away from refugees. I have no idea. Where did you hear that at, Mike Gregory? Who told you that? EBT. Who told you that? Who told you that? All EBT is an electronic balance. That's all it is. Yeah, electronic benefit transfer. I mean, why would they take that away? It doesn't make any sense. First off, it's a state-run program. EBT is just a way to handle food stamps. Food stamps are gone already. I heard my interviewer this morning say that there were food stamps, but there are no food stamps. You're not allowed to have food stamps. Some refugees claim they're getting them, and I've cautioned them, be prepared to pay that back. Don't worry about it now, but keep down how much you got because you may be forced to pay it back. You're not eligible for food stamps. Not eligible. The law made it illegal for anyone who's not a green card holder or an American citizen to get food stamps. That was last year. So, Debbie, thank you for the haircut comment. Mandy, thank you for 35 Rand. Want to know, since I did everything online, do I need proof of fear? I don't know what you mean, do you need proof of fear? Everybody does everything online. What do you mean by that, Danica? I don't understand. First off, you don't need proof of anything. You're not listening to what I've said, or you didn't understand what I've said from the very beginning. The difference between asylum and refugee status, other than how you get here, is the point that as an asylum seeker, you must prove persecution. As a refugee, you don't have to prove anything. You have to articulate, which means you have to explain in a reasonable fashion. There's no proof required to become a refugee. No, that's a huge difference. Yeah, medicals are valid for 6 months, EB. RC contacted our friend Texas, but we haven't heard anything from them ourselves. We assume it means we've been approved. Yes and no, Neff. That's probably true, but I can't state that for certain. I know people have had their case, their U.S. contact, U.S. link was notified months before they got over here. So I don't know. Rita Rousseau says, I watch on my TV. Okay, cool. Thank you. Colonel, we did our medicals 13th April, but I had to go for a sputum test. The day I did my medicals, I was recovered from heaven. Oh, that sucks because, yeah, your lungs were congested. That's why. Last year, reports indicate 70,000 were interested in how many. Okay, that's Joe Texas. Stop. There are no reports that indicated that. There was the South African Chamber of Commerce, which turned over 70,000 names, which represent over about a 250,000 people to the U.S. government. But that's not reports. There were also the only accurate statistic. I made an estimate. Others have made estimates. The only accurate, reliable information from the government came from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who testified in the Senate in late May, 2 weeks after the program had started, that there were over 70,000. Is that what you're referring to? If that's what you're referring to, that's the only report that's credible. The rest is analysis and or speculation. Interview in February, no further communication. Okay. All right. Where are we at here? Come on. Back. This chat just dumped on me. Boy, it really jumped quite a ways. Okay, that's where I was at. Trevor said, I wonder what I did. No, Trevor, don't be a smart aleck. You made a smart, snarky comment about this channel. You did. You did. I unblocked you. I blocked you initially, and I realized that was a bit harsh. So you don't have to zip your lips. Just don't be rude and disrespectful. Confirm talking. I am directly as last person of one set incoming people. I don't know what you can confirm there, Vanna. What are you talking about? What you can confirm? First contact November. Okay, now nothing. Good evening, Teresa says. Please, can anybody tell me why my case portal still shows blank? Because you probably didn't submit it, Teresa. Did you get a screen capture that said it was successfully submitted? You're not the only person. We've got other people who didn't do that. I had a person that for 6 months just didn't listen. They were here. They heard the stuff. They went and filled it out. They didn't complete the process. And then for 6 months, it was like that. And then recently came on here, and then they were very embarrassed. I said, don't be embarrassed. It's unfortunately that you weren't here, because I keep telling people, you must make sure it says completed. And then take a screen capture or print out the screen or take a photo with your phone so that you know that you got it. Krimmel says furniture. You missed the last interview. I asked the family if their place was furnished. Most of the refugees seem to be going to places that are unfurnished. But my experience of always rented places were furnished, so I don't understand why that's happening. But if you're lucky and you have someone who's kind and pays for the furniture, or it's donated, then you'll be okay. But sometimes you take it out of your refugee cash money, so that kind of sucks. CBB, welcome to Coco. Waiting to do the interview. Nicola says, I'm all right. Thanks for asking, my friend. How are you doing? I'm okay. I could be better. Melandia Holtzhausen, we are waiting for interview. Okay, cool. Get ready not to see the high numbers you might think of expecting. Oh, Alan says it's going to be a lot lower. Okay, well, we'll see how low it is. We'll see how low it is. Maybe it'll be a lot lower. Then we'll all be asking a question, shaking your head, why is it so few? Charlie Joubert, I've sent you an email today, if you could, okay, seeking guidance. Thank you for the 70 Rand. Definitely keep you updated. Thank you, Candace. Anel, our public schools free, well, it's Afrikaans to English. Are public schools free for high school? Yeah, public schools are free from grade 1. They cost nothing, hence the term public school. They're not free, though. People like me pay outrageous amounts of property tax with no children in school to fund these ridiculously expensive schools. So they're not free. Someone's paying for it. But no, you don't pay tuition to go to school, public school. That's only for private schooling. When they test them, will they put them when you're back? No, they'll put them where they think it's appropriate. Sometimes they put them ahead. Sometimes they put them the same grade because your year is ongoing. Sometimes they put them back just to make sure they're okay. So it all depends. Now there's no cookie cutter approach. Every school district is different. What the school district you go, the local school district here will be different than the one that's 20 miles away. It will be different from one that's 20 miles the other direction in Carlisle. It just depends. But yeah, you don't pay for public school. That's free. There's no school fees. No school fees. Arna says, my first Kaffee Klatsch. Okay. Had my interview with Milan. Okay. Milan. Interview. You talking about in Las Vegas? I understand. Completed interview on March 30th. Okay. Nothing since then. The Wolfpack, 14 Rand. Thank you for that. If our case was approved, is there a chance that we could still miss the 5,000 max number? There's no 5,000 max number. Where are you getting that from? That's poppycock. Who said 5,000? There's never been 5,000. The figure is 7,500, of which 7,000 were allocated to South Africa for this fiscal year. There are only May, June, July, August, September. 5 months left in this fiscal year. 7 months of the year are gone, and we had 4,496 as of last month, which meant that there was still room for 2,500. Or do those approved count? No, it doesn't count until you've arrived here. Approved doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of people approved. It's a conditional approval, first off. You guys got to get this out of your head. It could still be stopped for a reason. November and a review. Okay, hopeful. Okay, Yuri, how's it going? Alice Talyard. Delia's here. Welcome back. Recognize had a survey. Yes, they're attempting to try to push the government to take action against this interminable delay. So yeah, that I'm aware of the survey. They're trying to do something. Christy, what's up? My business is blooming up. Well, that's great. Well, that's fantastic, Christy. I hope your business does bloom. Save all that money for your arrival over here. Okay, my apologies for the email I sent you where I vented a little bit. I have no one else to talk. It's okay, James. Hopefully I wasn't rude back to you. I don't recall. Hopefully I wasn't rude back. I try very desperately not to be rude. I get some very nasty emails from people that are upset with me. I have nothing to do with it. I'm not in the government. I didn't ask you to come over here. I didn't tell you not to come over here. I just try to provide you the best analysis and information possible. Thank you, Utopia, on your membership. Yep, so hopefully I wasn't rude back to you. I generally am not. Some people get offended. Like the guy who called me and interrupted me when I was at the Brian Poiki Fest, interrupted me while I'm filming, interrupted me repeatedly calling, and I said, "Stop calling me." And then anyway, he said I was rude. I wasn't. He was rude to me. Can I get you to speculate the future of this refugee program? Sure, it's going to continue. You need orientation, emotional damage. School is free in Michigan. It's free everywhere, Iceman. Public school. If it says public school, you don't pay. They put your kids in grade higher for a couple of days, realize they were in the right place, and move them down. But if they're in the right place, why didn't they leave them there? Adele says, why don't they reply to emails? Okay, this is a question I've only answered 87 billion times over the past year. What are you expecting? I'm sorry, Adele. I'm not picking on you, so don't get your feelings hurt. But what are people expecting? Do they think a crack team of thousands are sitting there answering the hundreds of thousands of emails they get? I mean, I have tens of thousands of emails sitting in my accounts, and I'm one person. Why don't they answer emails? Because your emails aren't important to them. What's important to them is to process cases, not answer questions from people. Now, that sounds harsh, but you have to understand, this is not exactly an operation that has billions of dollars behind it to manage these cases. All right? That's why they don't answer emails. They don't have time for this. They don't have time for it. I mean, I wasted 3 hours of my time the other day. Most of it was wasted. Answering questions I answer right here on the program. And people don't pay attention. They don't have the courtesy to watch the program. Someone told them to write me an email. They don't even know who the hell I am. And I'm answering the emails. So that's why they don't answer emails. It's impossible for them to answer emails. It's just ridiculous to expect them to answer emails. And I've told people that from the very outset. When RSC became involved, don't expect them to answer your email. They do sometimes. Okay. Basically, actually, no. It went from 7,500 to 17,000 potentially. And given that less than 5,000 South Africans come over when I did that video, that would mean 12,000 more would come over by the end of the year if they raise it. But that was a Reuters report, not confirmation from the government. Why would medical be in progress for 5 or 6 months? Everything's fine first month. I have no answer for that, and Tanya. No answer whatsoever. I don't know why it would be. Again, that's why the portal is useless. What is the difference between the sticker and the super chat? Oh, super sticker. Super chat, you get the right thing. Super sticker, you get to pick a little, for an amount, you pick a sticker that, number one fan, 100%, way to go, stuff like that. It's the same money. It's just a question of what you want to do. Some people don't want to say anything. They just want to do a sticker. But thank you for that, Danica. Medicals interviews December. Haven't heard anything. Says that sounds like AI. Russell Holden, welcome to you. Everything except PRM email right from the start. Still here. Says 1440. Yep. Made a mistake sending email and it wasn't even refugee related. Why are there 2 medicals? I thought only one where we do all the tests. I don't understand. What do you mean by 2 medicals? What 2 medicals? I'm not familiar with 2 medicals. Vermont, I'm waiting for more than 3 months to do my interview. Okay. Vandermeva, hope it's good news. Well, good luck with that. Joe Ziebenhagen, thank you. If there's one thing I've learned from this, it's patience. Werner says, Chris, I confirm talking I am directly as last person, one set of incoming. Not going to divulge details. People will be surprised. And can confirm cap is not a worry. Yeah, well, again, like I said, who told you that from very outset? When you all freaked out about the cap, who told you not to worry about the cap? One person told you all along. Not these Ferrayas, not these fakes, not these scumbags who attack me. No, I told you from the very beginning not to worry about the cap. And guess who's going to be proven right? Yet again, me. Yeah, it could be anything. Our medicals in one day, but 3 different places, apparently expiring now soon, says Altos Glory. Yeah, 6 months is what you get. Bet there's even more than had a day for use, but received no location. My only question is how the queue is moving. That's a good question, Delia. Folks processed proved last year still here. Others only processed later. Yeah, again, I have no evidence of that. Not a single person I've interviewed has been interviewed this. Not a single person that I've talked to this year applied this year and moved. Not a single one. So either they're all hiding and won't give me an interview, or that's a wives' tale. Oh, Herman Ruiz. Herman, the world traveler. How's it going, man? 14 Rand. How's the farm? The U20 Yes! The Pumas beat the All Blacks. Okay, cool. Thank you, Hank. So it's going to be the Pumas and then the Junior Bucks? Do the poll. Yeah, there's only 342 votes. Whoever's running the program should come back from holiday. Cool beans. I won't disagree with that statement. First 2 hours did Amerikaners, now waiting. Well, sweet stolen. If you haven't done an intake questionnaire, if you were never contacted, you're not going anywhere. If you were never contacted and you haven't done an intake questionnaire, you're going nowhere. I've been telling everyone since November 4th, over 6 months ago, that you must do the intake questionnaire if you've never been contacted. Okay, people that applied February 25 still waiting. Yep, that's correct, Utopi. Well, Neff said the person said they applied 19 January. Yes, someone said that in chat, but I don't know that person. They're not here. I've never talked to anyone who's come over here yet. Again, I'm not denying there are, but why are they hiding? Kudu Poiki with Erivek. Ooh, hey, Steve Newbold. Your Poiki went well. Yes, our refugee groups are read-only. Okay, hey, Jessica. 397% full. So the other one isn't full. It's not even close. So put the link for the last one there. If it's my group. I don't remember creating a 4th one. Okay, on the intake, what do I need to ensure that I have give the correct info if someone can help me? Well, I mean, that's Danica. I mean, what kind of question is that? I don't need the correct info. I mean, I'm not standing over your shoulder. I know the correct info. Only you would know the correct info. Okay. Well, Delia, if they've told you what state you're going to, then you have a case officer here, so I'm not sure what's holding your case up. Social Security number will ask you if you have ever applied for food stamps. They record it for the future. I know the assistant lady asked me back. Didn't even know what it meant. News to me. I didn't. No one asked me if I ever applied for food stamps when I got my Social Security number at 15 years of age. Don't have UK citizenship. I need to prove that I did not obtain paternal citizenship. Birth is complicated. Oh, okay, Charlie Joubert. Thank you for that. Yeah, that is complicated. Chris is here. I'm here. Thanks for your dedication. No, I get no reward for Chris, but I'm concerned about your welfare. So I'm glad to see you're here. Arno, just waiting for your interview. Okay. Brandon Wallace, hello to you. It jumped on me again. Sorry, folks, it does this. Got to go back up here. Okay. How does an AMC MP get there? Fascinating. Well, very simple. His life was threatened. I've done the interview, so you don't know what he's going to say. Wait for the interview, Delia. It just finished. Thank you, Graham, for becoming a member. I just finished the interview a few minutes before this. I have to edit the first portion because his sound was all screwed up. He finally got rid of his earbuds, and the sound worked fine. So I've got to edit that, and I've asked him the hard questions. So how does an ANC MP get over here? Very simple. Someone's life is threatened, endangered, like yours was. Barry Swart says, thank you for unselfish effort to help with his previous military service and affecting your application. Yes and no, Barry. Yes, from a standpoint, you're going to be asked a lot more questions than just the average refugee applicant. You're going to be asked a lot of questions. That's a fact. So get ready for that. Also, get ready to have the dates of your service. They might even ask you for documents. So if you have all that stuff, take it with you. And be prepared to answer questions about whether you're in the border war, what you did and where you were stationed and how long you're in. Yes, and it could, if there's things that need to be investigated, it could lead to further investigation. It could take a little bit longer. But yes, but it's not a block. There's tons of people who are former SAPs, former police under the apartheid era, and former military who are over here now. Lots of people. It's not. As long as you didn't commit any human rights abuses or criminal acts, you're going to be okay. New subscriber. I live in Indian Springs, Nevada, and on Friday I was blessed with the opportunity to be interviewed in regards to my mom. Oh, T. Gusis. Okay. All right. Thank you. So you're a South African living in Nevada. Your mother's applied the refugee program, and she's coming to Las Vegas. Am I tracking now, T. Gusis? Okay. I didn't. Yeah. That's okay. I don't know who you were. I'd never seen you in the chat before. Thanks for joining us. Okay. How does ANC? Okay. Got that. If you understand what's a first world country, people who are asking questions have already been asking already. Well, Cool Beans, that's the nature of this entire program. I've answered the same question thousands of times on multiple things. Hey, Wolf the Blind Biker's back. Cool. Well, they'll contact you because they have to do the medicals again. Wolf, I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds like AI says they respond to every email we sent. One email was replied within 2 days. Well, that's magic. I don't know anyone that's ever happened to. So what's your secret? Alabagonical, welcome to you. Grok Matrix is back. Rainier, my case portal went blank under review from 22 December. Yeah, RSC is an automated response. Probably, yeah, exactly. He said they answered the question, so that can't be automated. Are broker fees illegal in America? What do you mean broker fees? Broker what? Well, I don't know. What do you mean by broker? Real estate broker? Real estate agent? Yes, the real estate agent fees are if you're buying a house. They're not normally something for a rental. So, Cool Beans got my email. Okay, cool. Had my medicals approved and it said security check, final education. My security check should be okay. All right, Graham. Watch a live stream today. People reported that their entire process took 5 months from start to finish. Well, great. Lots of people claim lots of things, God willing. You believe everything you hear? I don't. I don't know anyone who's taken 5 months. No, well, actually, it's not true. I know one person. One person. Unique situation. One person. Ours is always under review pending. Okay. Where can we get the Americana survey? On the Americana's website, I would imagine, willy-nilly. I don't promote their stuff. I just answer the questions about it. Herman Russ, thank you for the super chat. Well, always, I sent you a text to get my number and check my email. Business instead of refugee. Just throw it in the back of your mind. You sent me a text? A text? When did you send me a text? 2025? When did you send me a text? Because it's not recently. You told me a WhatsApp or a text? Be clear, because I don't have anything here as far as a text that I can see. Maybe I missed it. All right, how we doing here? CBB remembers Herman Russ. Herman used to be a guest in the program. Sent you the email. Okay, thank you, Haley. Yes, and that's one of them. You're right here. Haley, you're right here on my sheet. Right there's Haley. Right there. You can't read that, but that says Haley of emails I got to get to. Said I didn't want an email back from you. Oh. Okay, James. Okay, you can send me something to vent. Just tell me, Chris, I'm just venting. Subject line, Chris, I'm just venting. Okay? You can send me an email. Not really in limbo. Applied. Just join answer poll. Thank you for answering the poll. Okay, all of these South Africans, destination hoppers are going to think twice when they hear benefits stopped and soon to stop Medicaid. Oh, the other side of misunderstanding, it's not about applications, it's about processing. If people have already been through everything, why are they still waiting? No, Delia, I understand your point, but I'm not misunderstanding because I've made that very clear. That's why I made that short. But there's a case of both situations. But thank you. Yeah, you have to complete the entire process. That's why I always tell people, make sure you've got 7 hours to spare. You may have to log out, log back in, save your progress, and make sure you get the final submission on the screen. Otherwise, it's not submitted. According to the poll, as soon as people get here, they stop watching Kaffee Klatsch. Really? Well, yeah, see, exactly. People just use me. They just use me. I kind of expected that all along. But not 7%. So that means that there's about 25 people here that are in the USA that are watching right now. So 25 people are still watching. Harriman, help me with finalizing my application, Chris. Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's finalized based on the screenshots you sent me. Maybe I don't have the right information. 1 May, I sent a normal text on WhatsApp. Okay. Okay, 1 May. Okay. Nope. I have an email for Friends for Peace, City card, credit card alert, flights to Europe, Gus, VFW, political, log into my account, log into my account, log into my account, Tom Homan, VFW, Easy Pass. No, I have nothing from you. I don't know what number you sent that to, but I have no text from you, 2025. Unless you're Friends for Peace, then I have it. Sure, your family can visit you while you're refugee. Absolutely, Georgina Samuels. That's what I said all along. There's nothing to prevent them from getting a visa coming to America to visit you. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Man likes Josh. I would suggest not asking Matthew Dixon any questions. He's a friendly troll. Okay. That's people being people. I learned long ago that people use you when it's bad and forget you when it's good. Exactly. But not everybody. Imagine how long my interview would be. I retired early as a commander of the political violent crime unit. Yeah, there you go, Mike. Okay, intake questionnaire submission for some reason seems to move way faster than those who only complete SOI. Well, first off, Sonia Wayne, for those who only complete the SOI, if you haven't done the intake questionnaire, you're not going anywhere unless you previously did your interviews, were contacted. I've said this over and over again. So if you've only done the statement of interest and never been contacted, you're never going to be contacted. The embassy website says so very clearly. I have advised people from the November 4th to do the intake question if they've never been contacted. Yaku Schultz, I think work-wise, I'll be sorted as a millwright. Wife had 3D business in South Africa. Would like to continue this sort of work. Yeah, why couldn't she do it? She can do that here. Where's the Black Hawk container? Okay, Iceman, take care. Thanks for the interview earlier. Rihanna Boykis, welcome to you. That's weird. I've spoken to you before on that number, but I get it. How do people reach you if it's not refugees related? Yeah, send it to me. Send me the text again. I mean, it is weird, but also, I don't know, maybe Samsung's already unwinding things, but I'm looking, I mean, right here, I'm looking at my phone. I went through all the messages on May 1st. Let me see if maybe it came on April 30th. Nope, not even on April 30th. So, nope. May 2nd, nope. Nope. So, that is weird. Yep. But I don't have a message from you. I don't know the answer to that question. Lindsay Cohn. Just want to say thank you for everything you do for us. I'm also proud, Hadida, my 15-year-old son admires you a lot. We'll email the gift he made you. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you very kindly, Nadine Bota. And thank you to the Hadidas for their support. I really appreciate it. Pig Daddy's back. Welcome back. Good to see you again. All right. So the poll is at 400. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. And let's see. End the poll. So, all right. So that means that 100 people applied since January 1st of the 400 answered it. Only 7% in the U.S., so 28 people in the U.S. 60% are before January. You see, it takes a long time, folks, 60%. So, yep. That was actually a good idea from Marian to suggest that I do that poll. Maybe I'll try to do that poll and see if it changes over time. What I would agree and call as a backlog is really distressing. People who wait a long time. But again, it doesn't mean it's that people aren't being looked at back then because we have too many cases of people who've arrived who were in that recently. Yep. So, I lost a couple subscribers. They must have been trolls and not liked it. Yep, they're back now. Okay. Trying to comment in the chat. Will refugees in the USA be able? Yes, of course, you will be able to vote, Becker. Yes, you're a South African citizen. You're not American. You're not American. You don't have rights to vote here. You can vote in South Africa's elections. Absolutely. But unfortunately, I think they force you to go to Washington, D.C. to vote at the embassy. I don't think they'll let you vote at the consulates. I could be wrong about that. But I remember the last election, they said you could only go to Washington. I don't know if it's true. So, yes. We only did, yes, if you only did, well, Wolfpack, it doesn't matter. You can't go back and do the statement of interest or the PMEO. Those programs are retired. So if you only did the intake questionnaire, absolutely, you're fine. Yep. Debbie says you should help the applicants who waited so long. Well, that's certainly a reasonable expectation. Okay. Reference McDonald. Dante von Weich's life is still threatened. He's still in South Africa. Why would ANC persecutor be allowed to refugee? Well, okay, first off, he's not an ANC persecutor. Why would you call him an ANC persecutor? What did he do to persecute someone? Above a young man has never been an ANC cater. Very confused. Well, I understand why you're confused, Renee, but your assertion is invalid. It's not accurate. And lots of people's lives are in danger. There are people who are already over here who are refugees who came some time ago whose lives are in danger. There are people whose lives are in danger who are not here. I can't make rhyme or reason of how they decide this thing. I cannot make rhyme or reason. Sharon, I don't know if I got your message. How did you send it? I cannot make rhyme or reason, so it's a fair question. It's not something I'm not running the program. If I were running this program, I would be able to give you answers. I can only look at the tea leaves and what information is available and try to make a reasonable conclusion. Well, no, on May 5th, Jeanette. They come on the 5th. But for South Africans, it might be the 6th already by the time the data comes out because it's been coming out in the evening. Peter says, thanks for what you did for Jared. He's definitely in a better mood. So yet again, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure. We won't have the numbers for April, Andrew Hottinga, until the 5th of May. It's always the 5th unless it's a holiday or weekend, and then it comes the next business day. The 5th this week will be on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, by late afternoon, early evening, I will have the numbers, and I will gin up some analysis, and we'll put it out there. Well, Delia, yes, I appreciate where you're coming from, but I mean, some people who were approved have had some truly horrific things, including a lady got shot in the head before she flew. But she had tickets. And then we also had someone who had something truly horrific happen to them that, which I cannot discuss or disclose, truly, truly horrific happened to them. They survived it, thank God. And they had already been approved and were waiting tickets. And then it happened to them. And because they were waiting for tickets. Okay, so I'm looking for, hang on a second here. Okay, no, I'm not getting a response. Okay. If my son works on H2A and get me to get job and accommodations there, can I have no idea what you're writing, Rian. Migrate? No, okay. Rian, I think what you're asking, if your son is here in the U.S. on H2A visa, can you go to where your son is at? You can go wherever you want, but you run a risk. Until you have a Social Security number, until you've received your grant money, until you've got your EAD, you leave, you're on your own. Good luck with that. You got to do that on your own. I don't encourage out-migration. Jared was an exception. I don't encourage it. Well, Cool Beans, I appreciate you asking for me to run the program, but I don't think the U.S. government's interested in that. No, Steve Swanepoel, it's evident that RSC can't handle the workload. I don't know if USCIS can handle the workload. Amanda DeBeer needs accommodation from 26th of May. Well, Amanda, you're going to have to send us a note and tell us where. I mean, that doesn't really help. I mean, South Africa's a big country. Where do you need accommodation? Can't we vote for you? Thank you. Okay. Are all the people being helped that have previous tickets? Debbie, I don't have an answer to that question. I know that some are. Christy says, I don't trust him. It's just too obvious that he was a former ANC MP. Yeah, well, I trusted Neil DeBeer. He was a former ANC, not an MP, but former ANC. Refugees allowed to apply for study towards... Of course. In fact, Fundameva, I've said over and over again, the Hotzenberg's daughter is in college. She arrived May 12th. She started college in August. She's in college in Twin Falls, Idaho. Rion, did I understand your question correct? It's okay to ask your question, but the typing, you had typos. I didn't, so I'm trying to make sure I understood it. Are there any vehicle testing stations you say like roadworthy on vehicles? Okay, I don't understand what that question is all about. But every state has its own rules. Maryland has an emissions requirement every year, and Pennsylvania has a roadworthy test every year. Every year. My registration is good for 2 years, but I have to get the car inspected every year. Can you please tell me about security guards in the USA, and can women be security guards? Of course you can be a security guard here, but it's not a good paying job. Security guard is not a well-paying job in America, and we don't really need them most places. We have some, but we don't need them. Law enforcement is a different story. Law enforcement can pay very lucrative. That sounds like AI. I can send you the proof. No, I don't. I don't need you to send me that. That sounds like AI. I didn't disbelieve you. I just said, "What's your secret?" That's when I asked. I said, "What's your secret?" Did you get a response from someone and it was a personal email at RSC and you wrote back to them? They wrote back to you and wrote back to you, or did you just write to a standard RSC email account? Because you wrote the standard RSC email account and you get a response every time. That's a shocker. No one else gets that. Jesse wants to know how you joined the Hadidas. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe one of the Hadidas can jump in here and answer that question. Verna says, I'm going to say this again. If what I've heard from IOM is true, the people in limbo, just hang on. Exactly. Amanda needs accommodation in Pretoria. Okay, Amanda, just you, Singleton. Do we need to have room for 5,000 people? I don't know if you want to say that here. You want to send me an email. I think the fact that they can't handle the workload for a few thousand explains in part how so many Ukrainian refugees got used to that private. Exactly. Well, not just Ukrainians. Afghans. I'm more concerned about the Afghans than about the Ukrainians. Herman Lowe is looking for a first paycheck this week. Hey, Herman, how you doing? You're still in that crap hole, right? All right. So how's it going? Should there be well, don't forget, you're not the only one who gets paid, Herman. You get paid, Social Security gets paid, the state of Pennsylvania gets paid, the federal government gets paid, and that guy named FICA, he gets paid too. Social Security and Medicare. Medicare. Interview, okay? Should there be a threat to our safety on a large scale by pressure? Would you give us a heads up on how to prepare to escape a safe haven? Lucy Zealy, there are people in South Africa who have your interest at heart, who have plans for if the balloon goes up. I'll leave it at that, okay? If and when that actually occurs, don't worry. I will be broadcasting. Hopefully I'm not in South Africa when the balloon goes up. If it does, I'll have to get involved, but or stay away from it. But if the balloon goes up in South Africa, do not be concerned. Well, be concerned, but I will definitely be providing instructions and information for people if I can get it, which I suspect I can. There are people who are concerned about your safety. Okay. Trying to get an email list for Home Affairs, check them documents. I don't know. Yeah, Delia says no one else to ask. I got that. Hadidas are in the house, says Gil. Is someone asking questions about driver's license again? Every state's different. Typically, it's no more than 60 days. A few, I think, have 90 days. You have to get a driver's license after 30 days, but never shorter than 30 days. Where do you get the AD? The EAD comes through your refugee assist case officer. That's why I said, out-migration is a fool's errand unless you have a very compelling reason to do it. Your employment authorization document is mailed to your refugee case officer, and they give it to you. Some people have it stamped on their passports, but that's not the actual AD. The AD is an actual card. So, yeah. Please remind me what the rules are regarding driver's license, redo or convert. Well, it depends on the state, man like Josh. It's the state. Every state's different. People in Ohio are getting screwed because Ohio changed the rule for refugees. It's very unfair. It violates Ohio's Constitution and the U.S. Constitution, in my opinion. I sent a letter to the governor of Ohio expressing that. I'm going to mail the hard copy out this week because I didn't get a response to the digital copy. So, so every state's different. Most states require you redo driver's license, very little convert South African license. So easy, learner's test, driver's test. Exactly. Okay. Yes, that's correct. I replied to emails they sent me. Aha. That's different. Sounds like AI. See, that's very different. Very different. These people are writing emails to them on the email address, which nobody reads for the most part. Occasionally they do. You responded to an email they sent you, and then they wrote back to you and back and forth. That's very different. You're in a conversation with someone that works for them, whereas everyone else is just sending an email to a generic email address. That's the difference. Thank you. Yeah, you don't need to send me your emails. I don't need to see those. Breaks my heart to see so many people wanting to come over. Yeah, exactly, Fonz. Giselle. Oh, my goodness. Giselle. Johan El. Hello, El Jose. Chochandit. Leafy. Chochandit. Hey, El Jose. Wow, you are getting quite the big grown up there. El Jose was just a little tiny baby when I first saw her. Wow. Wow, El Jose. How are you? Hey, Johan, what's the word, man? Good to see you back there again. Armed guards make $21. Yeah, well, they make $20 an hour working at McDonald's right here. So, I mean, that's how much money. It's how much money. Depends on where you live, though. West Virginia, $21 an hour, you can probably live pretty well. Cap does increase. As we've heard, there's a good chance flights will start to ramp up to a bigger budget. Well, the Homeland Security budget, I guess, has it been approved? I'm confused on that. I don't really understand what the media's been reporting. So I'll have to look. To the person looking to join the Hadidas, go to the main group, find me there, Gil Carlo, and I'll send you the link. Okay, cool. All right. So there's no vetting of the people that join it. So you can have Farayas join the group. Or do you just take them out if they misbehave? Just asking, Gil. Asking for a friend. Okay. Work security in Las Vegas, $18 an hour, not great. Became a police officer. Exactly. Thank you. That's what I just said, T. Gustus. Yeah, $18 an hour. $21 are not that much. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Also, thanks for becoming a subscriber. Okay. I love Neil. Asked him to marry me, says Christy. Did you really, Christy? I didn't know that. Okay, Anna Kruger. Okay. Delia said we'd be lost without you. It's very kind of you to share, Delia. I appreciate that. Doing good. Still in the crap hole, but looking to move out the end of the month. That's good. Good, Herman Low, because that place is a crap hole. Okay. Okay, what happens if the principal on the application gets disappeared? Well, that's the situation, fortunately, we've never had happen. So I shudder to think what will happen. Thank you. Lucy says, gives me peace of mind knowing there's still people willing to protect the vulnerable. One of my family members, we cannot get there on a birth certificate. Home Affairs apparently don't have. You need to go to a different Home Affairs office. I mean, they're probably bullshitting you. Okay, and try there. Okay, there was something I wanted to see I missed here. I guess I missed it. I saw El Jose and Johan. Okay, there was someone else I saw here that I wanted to respond to. Oh, was it Babyface Cutie? I think I missed a message from Babyface Cutie. She was thanking me. Oh, I'm going to show you that. I was told I could show you that. So let me find that very quickly. Downloads. Where's it at here? Come on. Oh, here you go. Okay, folks. So here you go, Babyface Cutie. I was told I could share this. So here you go. So we ordered a walker for her because she needed a walker and wasn't getting one. So there you go. It arrived in California yesterday. Congratulations. It looks pretty spiffy. That looks pretty spiffy. Got space to store stuff. You can sit down if you need to. It folds up. There you go. So she did tell me I could share that. So there you go. Babyface Cutie got herself a walker, which, I mean, that's, thankfully that's taken care of. So, I'm glad that got to you okay. There you go. There it is. Babyface Cutie, thank you very much for the walker. Yeah, well, I paid for it and I ordered, but then all these people gave Super Chat donations, which were very generous. Thank you for that. So the Wyatt Army paid for it. I still probably pay for a bit of it after all my taxes, but yeah, I wasn't asked for people to help, so. Okay. If you can get an international, no. Abraham Fund Invest Toys, and that's not true. Go ahead and get yourself an international driver's license. Come to America, be living here for 3 months in Florida, get pulled over by a trooper and try to tell him that you're here on an international driver's license. That's for tourism. You're not a tourist. International driver's license is not valid when you land here. Nope. Not if you come here as a refugee, not if you come here as an asylum seeker, not if you come here as a permanent resident. No. An international driver's license is only good in every country that accepts them outside the country it's issued in while you're a tourist for up to 1 year. That's not good advice. Go ahead and get one. Get it. Maybe the cops will be nice. Maybe they'll be kind. A few dollars doesn't cost you much. Go ahead and get one. Go to the Automobile Association. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but don't expect that it's going to work. I'm just saying, maybe you get a cop that's nice. But no, your international driver's license is not valid when you become a resident. And once you're here 30 days, you're a resident in most states. Okay. One of my family members, we cannot get... Okay, I already answered that. You said I can join them after a year that I'm USA. That's not what I said, Peter DeLong. What I said is that once you have a green card, you can't apply for a green card until you've been here 12 continuous months, despite the lies of some other content creator. The law says 12 months. At 12 months, you must apply as a refugee for a green card. If they process it fast, then you'll get it quickly. If not, it could take time. It could be 18 months. Once you have a green card and you're a permanent resident, then you can apply to join the military. As long as you meet the height, weight standards, the background checks, the education standards, and the medical conditions. So, yep. Can you study for mechanical while I'm in the Army? Well, you can take university courses when it doesn't interfere with your work. I earned an associate's degree, a 2-year degree in the Army during 3 years. Not easy to do, but it is possible. And if you wind up remote location, it's not so easy. But yes, you can study for things in the military. And they actually pay for some of your tuition. I don't know the current amount and how many hours, but when I was in the military in the 80s, they paid 90% of my tuition as a sergeant because they wanted sergeants to have a degree. And I took every class I could get. But then later in the 90s, they restricted how many hours you could take because people were taking advantage of the program. I mean, we take advantage, they were using it. And they didn't expect that turnout. I don't know, Lawrence, ANCMP, I saw part of the story and felt for him. We expect people to understand our situation, compassion for our situation, yet we're already making up our minds about him. Exactly, Heidi. Exactly. People don't know him because he was a member of the ANC. They've already formed an opinion. That's unfair. That's like the racists who form an opinion about me because they look at my pale skin and the fact that I'm pink and not black and say, well, he must be a racist. That's because they're racist. Judging people, if you haven't walked a mile in their shoes, can be difficult. He is a public figure, so it's fair to criticize him. Fonz missed the Walker one. Oh, thank you, Fonz, for the $5. That was a night owls. Every state, it's different for driver's license. Correct, Charles. You have a contact option now. I used it and they responded. Okay, I didn't know that, Longman. Thanks for sharing. So the portal has a contact option. Shaq, thank you for your membership. Excuse me. Regards, it's prudent that you come with an escape plan in terms of routes to travel and avoid major intersections. Always good to have an escape plan for a meeting place. Yep. Yep. Martin says the international driver's license does not apply to refugees. That's what I said. Okay. In North Dakota, we don't need an international driver's license. The main WhatsApp refugee group, just as the admin, they have our link. Okay. Do you think they're processing the refugees in batches? Explain why some are still waiting. No, Pat, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why did my friend who was in the first 100 just arrive? He just arrived. He's only been here a few days. Well, a week now, actually. Or no, not a week. He came Tuesday. What am I saying? He only arrived 15 months later. How is he here? How are the 5 people that I met in Harrisonburg who are not in that group but sent PRM emails in February just arrived 3 weeks ago before him? There's no rhyme or reason to it. It doesn't make any sense. Again, you can't make sense. See, this is the problem. A lot of people think that, well, I was first. It doesn't matter if you're first. Well, I'm in more danger. It doesn't matter if you're in more danger. The program isn't there to assess that. The program is to assess your case on its merits. Some people's cases take longer. I had a person recently that didn't get through, got stopped at the airport because the authorities detained that person. So that person didn't make it through. Every case is judged on its merits, and every case takes a different amount of time. And people don't want to understand that. But I apply. Ah, dang it. Is it still working? I knocked it over. It's still working. It's still working. Okay, it's still working. Yeah, so I applied. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to argue with people, but it doesn't matter. Your investigation may take longer for whatever reason. Maybe it got held up. Maybe it was put in the wrong agent's desk. Maybe that agent is lazy. Maybe they've got 1,000 cases they're looking at. There's lots of reasons for it. I can't explain it. But this nonsense to say, well, I mean, and I think the thing that takes the case to perfect example was my friend. I'm a U.S. Thai. We've known each other for years. For years. He has a legitimate basis for refugee status. I didn't encourage him to take it, but he listed me as a U.S. Thai. And it took him from the first 100 proof of concept until a couple days ago. I mean, come on, seriously. So that doesn't make any sense. He was in the first 100. Never got contacted for over a year, February 19th. And then it took 9 weeks from the time he was contacted to when all the processes went back to Pretoria as if he'd never been interviewed before. I mean, so my case was before this case or this case before mine, or they went after me. You don't know the circumstance of the case. I don't know the circumstance of the case. And trying to compare your case to someone else is fruitless because you can sit there and navel gaze and argue about it all night long, but it doesn't change your circumstance. Rec to Ralph, thank you for $2. Keep on walking. Who's keep on walking? What are you talking about? You're not alone. There are quite a few cases similar to what you explained. Okay. Hey, Shaq, what's going on? Truck drivers, yes. If you want a commercial driver's license, Department of Transportation on the 13th of March issued an injunction or a ban or a policy or something like that that prevents non-green card holders from getting a CDL nationwide. That sucks. That sucks. It's unfair. But it's because of all the illegals that are in California that are being issued license. They can't even read the road signs. They can't speak English, and they've killed a bunch of people. Home Affairs Department, Western Cape, sat with our passports for more than a month without informing me to collect. Yeah, I got you, West Coast. That's frustrating, but I mean, I can't fix that. Andreas Muller says, I missed his super chat. Well, my apologies on that. That wasn't intentional. Let me go here. Make sure what I missed here in super chat. Okay. So, gosh, we got quite a few here. We got Sharon Gosselin, 1049. Then Andrea says, Colonel stuck here, slipping through cracks. I didn't miss that. I read that twice. Arnold Neville, you must have done another one. 70 Rand. Mandy Dolph, I got that one. Charlie Joubert says, sent you an email today. Could you look at it? Seeking guidance. I read that one. The Wolf Pack, I got that one. 14 Rand. Christy, I got hers. Jenny Neil May, 14 Rand. I did miss that one. Sorry for Jenny. And Apocalypse Ninja, I missed yours too. Good afternoon, Chris. Just want to say your legend is hard, but we're also here for you as you are for us. Salute. Well, thank you, Apocalypse Ninja. Appreciate that. The $5. Dr. Haley Herman. I missed that super sticker. Thank you, Dr. Haley Herman. 200 Rand. Herman Russ, 14 Rand. I saw that one. Yaku Schultz. I think work-wise, I'll be sort as mill right. I saw that one. Andres says, did you see my last email? No, Andres, I've mentioned repeatedly in this stream that I haven't seen email. Fonz, $5, and Ralph Nutt says, keep on walking. I have no idea what that's about. But no, I didn't. I saw the email. Okay. I did miss your super chat. You might have missed me reading it. Apologies for that. Do you think the program will stop after the cap? No. First off, I don't think the cap matters. God's girl, you must be new. I'm the only person that's told you from the outset that don't worry about the cap. It's not going to be an issue. They'll find a way around it, or they'll simply increase it. And Reuters report claims that sources inside the Trump administration say they're going to increase it to 17,000. We have 5 months left in the year. So that could mean as many as 10 to 12,000 more South Africans this year alone, this fiscal year through October. No, the program's not going to stop because of the cap. And even if the cap is reached and they adhere to the cap, then they'll simply backlog people who are approved. And then when the next fiscal year starts, the cap is established, the gates will open again. That's how it works. Please explain to us if you ever get your driver's license in a state and you migrate to another state. How do you redo? You don't redo it. You transfer it. I explained that many, many times, West Coast. Many, many times. I have a Pennsylvania driver's license. Okay. So there's my Pennsylvania driver's license. Okay. All right. I had an Ohio driver's license from 87 until 2019. But with the military, I'm allowed to drive in any state on my license, and I have to change it because that state can't claim my residency because I'm protected by federal law. Most people aren't, but military are. When you move to a different state, you usually have a period of time. Pennsylvania, I think it's 30 days. I was here in the Army, living in Pennsylvania, but I was artificially not. I didn't vote here. I voted in Ohio, even though I had not lived in Ohio since 1987. That's where I entered the military. That's my state of residence. I paid taxes there. I voted there, and my driver's license was from there, even though I didn't live there. That's an exception. Normally, wherever you live in the states, that's your state of residency. When you move to another state, you must adhere to their laws. They require you to get a license. Normally what you do, as I did, is I went online, I scheduled an appointment, filled out the form online, had an appointment at the testing center, which is 15, 20 minutes away, went there, walked up to the booth, sat down with the lady, surrendered my Ohio driver's license, gave her the credit card to pay for the fee, and then, hang on a second, what's going on here? I got all kinds of crap. What's this? On my computer. Anyway, I gave her the credit card. She told me to go wait in the other area near where the 20 machines or 20 or 30 machines that they have to test your eyes and for the photograph. I went over there. They called me a couple minutes later, got my eyes tested, and got issued my driver's license just like that. That's how I converted it. Yep. So it's not hard. So when you move to a different state, you've got a period of time, usually 30, 60, or 90 days, which is what we've been talking about here. Why are people all worried about these driver's licenses? Twice to do a survey for Cape Town residents. Okay, I don't know anything about that. Will be known as refugees or immigrants. You're not an immigrant. Garrick de Blanc, you're not an immigrant. You're not an immigrant. You are a refugee until you become a U.S. citizen or until you go home. You can call yourself whatever you want, but you're not an immigrant, not legally. You haven't immigrated here. You haven't been granted permanent legal status as an immigrant. You've been granted temporary status as a refugee, and then you'll be granted permanent residency as a refugee as long as the conditions of refugee granting are still prevalent. If somehow magically the ANC gets rid of 145 race-based laws and the racism stops in South Africa, then you would be expected to go home. But that's never going to happen, so don't worry about it. Yes, Indian truck drivers ruined it for everyone. You are correct about that, T-Bone. Okay. I don't know what an ARP document is. What is an ARP document? Never heard of such a thing. Okay. Been programmed since first contact early January 26th and did use interview 7. It's more today, so forgot by okay. Well, that's not very long, but that's frustrating, I'm sure. Armada Adventures. Nick here. Hope you're good. Just wondering where most people are being placed. They're being placed all over the country. South Dakota, North Dakota, Georgia, Florida, Texas, California, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, North Carolina, all over the country. There is no most people been placed. Larger states get larger numbers. California, Texas, and when we have the 5th, you will look for my video. I do a video every month about the arrivals, so look for it then. Pink chair. Who has a pink chair? I don't have a pink chair. I have a blue chair. Oh, that was Kaffee. Okay. No, $50,000 not a high amount. That's a pretty common income. There is no idea what most starting jobs are. I mean, first off, jobs vary based on the job market, what people make. People make for similar jobs in Zanesville, Ohio, a lot less than they make in New York City for the same job, just because of the cost of living. So there is no starting job. What you need to do is look in your industry and your career field and look at different places around the country. Okay. Tertius Faustus. Lego room. My son and I are proactive while we're in the process. We're doing our U.S. high school diploma remotely at Penn Foster, Pennsylvania. That's interesting. I don't know how you do that, Jennifer. That's interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Excited for the interview with Professor G. It's not an interview. It's a collab. Not an interview. It's a collab. I'm not interviewing Professor G. We're collab. We're going to talk about the program. But yes. Okay, cool. Shaq gave, is that Shaq Dweller? You just changed it. 14 Rand. Thank you. A U.S. tie for 35 years. He was in the Marines and retired in 2019, says Christy. Okay. I'd like to ask a question. I've tried to find a video you've posted but can't find. But if you can, please know which one. What does that mean, Jason? Try to find a video you've posted but can't find one. If you have, can I please just know which one it is? Huh? I don't understand what does that mean? What is that? It doesn't make any sense. It sends. Great exploits. Welcome to you. Okay. Maybe there should be an IQ test. We're allowed to ask questions. No, I didn't watch a movie with Cher. I'm not a Cher fan. The only thing I really like about her is if I could turn back time. That's about it. Cher has no appeal for me. Her voice is annoying. Her arrogance is rude. And I was a much bigger fan of Sonny, her ex-husband. You don't need an unabridged birth certificate to come here. You need a proper birth certificate with your parents' names on it to apply for green card. If you don't have that, they make exceptions. That's another reason people attacked me and lied about me. Does Congress say anything about refugee suspension? No. Congress has no control over suspension. Why would they say anything about refugee suspension? What are you talking about? Congress has no say. There's a law. If Congress wants to change a program, they have to change the law. In order to change the law, Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate must agree with it. It must go to the president for signature. There's no such thing. Who told you that? That's nonsense. Congress has no say over the program. They passed a law in 1980. It's the law of the land. And unless and until it's amended or changed, that's the law. And it's administered by the State Department at the direction of the Secretary of State and or the President of the United States. That's case closed. Yeah, of course you can buy a house, Deep House. All these people asking questions. We did an interview with a person who bought a house 4 months after he got here. We have a South African who bought a house in Iowa. It's on the channel. Look up the questionnaires. Or look up the videos under on the interviews. Yeah, I interviewed him ages ago. Georgia interview with Lily. Well, that wasn't Heidi. That also wasn't an interview. That was a collab. We do a collaboration. She's a nice lady. Yes. Okay. You were replying to an earlier super chat asking about your basement. I missed that, Tertius. 10-year visa expired 2013. Will this be positive? No, it won't be positive, won't be negative. It has no bearing whatsoever on your case. We're not guaranteeing you a visa to come to America. We're granting you refugee status, and your visa has no impact on that. No. If you're trying to get a visa and you had a previous 10-year visa and it expired, that could be in your favor when the visa officer decides whether to give a visa or not. But no. Unless you did something wrong in America, that's a different story. You fell pregnant with your son. Well, Christy, I got that, but you guys got to be careful. You got to be careful when you're out there tripping and you just wind up pregnant. When you fall pregnant, it's dangerous. I mean, I don't know how that happens. I mean, usually, no, Sharon, no thanks. Easy transfer 55 though without needing to get a SARS clearance, but then it's okay. Okay. Your driver's license serves the main form of identification in America. That's correct. It's the first thing people ask for. Yeah, in fact, I often give them my military ID card instead. And I've had people say, well, I have to have a driver's license. Like, why? That's federal identification. You're asking for state identification. Yeah, so yeah, driver's license is typically a form of identification. Would like to know my home family is me and my 2 sons. No, your sons are, well, your 20-year-old might be able to be included, but 25 years old, no, that's not part of your family. Sorry, not part of your family. Your 20-year-old, normally it's 18, but they've been allowing up to 21 in this program. 25, though, has to do his own application. And I would recommend all 3 do an application. And then, but I would recommend including at least I would put them all in your application, but they're probably going to say has to do his own application. Well, it depends what you're doing. Sometimes you need a second or third form of identification, correct? Captain Asparagus, 14 Rand. Thank you. You're welcome. Thanks. I didn't know the rules and regulations. That's fine, Michelle. That's fine. Just info South. If you transfer with Capitec, arrive next day, transfer by Chase. Yeah, no. Capitec is apparently very good and very inexpensive to send it over. ARP is issued by pre-populated kids details. Again, I don't know what ARP is. I don't know what that is. Design Line. Thank you for the 14 Rand. Cool Bean says I should stop answering stupid questions. Well, from my perspective, you don't know how I feel about most questions, especially when I've answered them thousands of times. But people are new. They're not here. They don't know better. Coffee time. Okay. We think sometimes it's hard to express your thoughts in the chat for some folks. It is, Carl. No, you don't have to apologize, Deep House. But I did an interview with this. Which one was that? Anybody know off the top of your head? It was the Iowa interview. Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to find it by searching Iowa, and it'll trigger a memory. No. Was it Grant? I think it was Grant. Was it Grant? I think it was Grant. Does anybody remember? Was it Grant O'More? I think he was the one who bought a house. Can somebody confirm that? I think it was Grant, and that one was January. So here's the link to that one. I thought it was earlier I did that interview, but it was January with Grant. So that's the link to Grant. He bought a house. Mother applied the program, and she has already birth certificate. If she's a South African citizen, it won't matter where birth certificate's from. If she's a South African citizen. You don't have to be born in South Africa to be a South African citizen. As long as she's a South African citizen, she'll qualify. Is Professor D going to do a live with you? Yes, Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Corey, thanks. I don't know what you're talking about there. I missed something entirely, Carl Rasmus. So on an H-2A visa and come back for interviews, do you lose your visa and stay for approval? I don't know the answer on that. You shouldn't lose your visa. You're allowed to travel back to South Africa on your visa. Are you not? Shouldn't have any impact on it. But I can't tell you the answer on that. But need to give the farmer heads up if we need to stay in South Africa. Okay. God's girl. No. Why? People can apologize and question the cap. No problem. It's a fair question, the question about the cap. We don't know. Reuters claims they've got sources who say that it's going to be increased to 17,000 for this year. There's only 5 months left in the year. And we have less than 5 months. Now May 3rd. So you have 4 months and 27 days. So. Can I please ask people that do interviews to stop giving personal information about caseworkers, partially doxing them? Am I still alive? Yeah. Who gave an interview where they doxed a case? Oh, anybody? What are you talking about? What are you talking about there? Syntax? I'm not aware of anyone. No one's ever doxed any agent. Nope. No one's doxed any agents. The only agent I've talked about is people who've agreed for the name to be shared. Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Sounds to me like you're trolling. Thank you, Wolfpack, for 14 Rand. Diane Rudolph. Add you to the list. I'll try, Diane. Okay, you resent me text. Okay, let me. Oops, come on. Text messages. Oh. Okay. 2025. I just received a text message from somebody, but this is not who I thought it was. Did you change your name? You said she went to church. Is that you, 2025? That's not who I thought it was. So you guys changed usernames. I don't know who the heck you are. If there's a federal law trumps state law, you have to follow all laws. 3 years from now, I have no idea if the program will be active. It depends on who gets selected and where we're at. If South Africa changes behavior, that I think is impossible. But so is this possible for 3 of us to be split or not approved at the same time, even if my son's living with me? No, you're not understanding. Are you the person that asked me that question a few minutes ago about a 20 and a 25-year-old son? You link your cases. It's possible, but not likely that you'll be separated. Well, this program isn't for the unemployed. Okay, first, that has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it, whether you're a provider. It doesn't matter. If your adult son doesn't have a job, that doesn't mean they're a dependent. Unless they're mentally incapacitated or physically incapacitated and they're a ward of you. If you have legal custody of them as an adult, that's a different story. A 25-year-old, whether they're employed or not, isn't germane. Again, like I said, he's going to have to do his own case. But you're going to have to ask to link the cases, okay? Kaffee, you mentioned a caseworker's name, but it was not a bad thing. So I don't, and it also wasn't, you didn't give a full name. I mean, that's a different story there. Well, Jeff Tennyson, JF Fun in the Sun, sorry. I'm just answering as best I know. If you're a South African citizen, regardless of your origin, if you're a citizen and you meet the qualifications, you're eligible. It doesn't matter where you're born. So. No, then that's not you. Well, maybe you never had my number. My number hasn't changed in 26 years. I've had that number even when I was overseas. 26 years. Okay, you just told me 2025 super busy is what I should be looking for. I have no such email. I don't know where you're sending stuff. I don't have an email from there either. I just searched for that. I don't know where you're sending emails either. There's nothing. Let me try that again. No messages matched your search. Nope, I don't have anything like that. So I don't know where you send it. Oh, wait, there it is. Now I got the email. Okay, I got your email now. It wasn't there before. Okay. Yes, I appreciate Big Fish. You changed your username in Eastern Cape, but that doesn't mean I know who you are when you change it. Student 798, thank you for 35 Rand. Got a tithing help with housing. Will it make the process? No. That doesn't make it go any faster. We wait for confirmation now this week or fourth trip. That's crazy. I understand what's going on with that. Okay, we know her name, agency, days she works, and what days she operates. Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, so you're talking about Kathy's interview, Synth. Okay, so you know the agent's first name, you know the agency works for, and you know the day she works. How's that a problem? You know the name of Milan Debitek. You know what agency he works for, and you know what days a week he works. I don't understand the concern. In the future, we don't want people sharing more detailed info. Well, I'm not going to promise that because people who give authorization to share the information have given authorization. So we congratulate people who are doing a good job. So I wasn't surprised when Kathy said what day she worked, but that really isn't germane. So I did a live stream reading emails. Oh, you mean do it again? Yes. Earn ad revenue. No, it's not about ad revenue, but yeah, maybe. Why didn't the family interview get furniture? Which family is that, Debbie? Most of them didn't get furniture. So, well, because it's going to have to come out of their grant money unless someone donates it or they can find it. So the people in Dublin had these lovely chairs. They're amazing, like Lazy Boys, like $100 a piece. They got them at a liquidation sale. A furniture place was going out of business. Vic Bro, thank you for your subscription. Elanza Simmons, thank you. A lot of videos about homeless in the USA. It is manipulation of the algorithm. Of course, there are homeless people in America. Look at California. Gavin Newsom and the Democrats in California forced tens of thousands, probably 100,000 people into being homeless. Tens of thousands forced into homelessness because of their policies on urban growth and control. Yep, they've pushed a lot of people in homelessness, and they've tolerated it, and they've encouraged it. So lots of homeless. There's homeless all over the country. There's a hell of a lot more homeless in South Africa than this. Free stuff on the curb. Well, what do you mean by that? People put stuff out for the junkers? There's people who go junking. That's what we call it. It's a nickname. A lot of Americans throw things out perfectly good. And people go around, drive around on the days when the big pickup from the rubbish folks are the big day, and they're like, oh, a TV. We'll take the TV or a couch. But that's called junking. Anyway. Yeah, Trevor Charles, 3 to 4% unemployment is all I need. Exactly. Unemployment is shockingly low, and people told me a place to go, and I looked up the numbers, and it's very low there too. Carl Rasmus wants me to dare to pronounce his real name, Carl. Carl. No. Well, it says Carl. It doesn't say Carl. Carl is spelled the way you just spelled it. Carl. Just a message from another FT that seems they need to reapply for the program or some redo their fingerprints again. I've never been told anyone had to reapply for the program. That sounds suspicious. Redo fingerprints? Yes. Yep, because people's fingerprints are all messed up. What about Quagga, Van? All right. I think we've answered a lot of questions numerous times. Yeah, many states have furniture banks and their Facebook marketplace sites. Yep. Jacksonville, short while 30 years ago, I saw people leaving furniture on the pavement only to find you can take what you need. Yep. I don't know what strong language in the chat. I don't see any strong language in the chat. It is not necessarily correct. So I don't see what strong language is in the chat. It's not enough for cons. Everything's been English for the last several minutes, so I'm not really sure. Don't want your money regarding the email or screen grab. I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, Anna, take care. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. That's going to be it for today's Kaffee Klatsch. We answered a lot of questions and some new questions. A lot of how am I doing personally, Cool Beans? I could be a lot better. Is Philadelphia a nice city? It has nice neighborhoods, especially the western districts. The south side of the town's bad. Parts of the center are bad. It's $175,000 for 10 acres, a good price in rural Iowa. Probably deep house this day and age. It doesn't sound too bad. But you need to check the going prices. Look up the price of land. Also, you're going to want to have a soil survey to find out how, and water, whether it's watered, you have a creek on it, something like that. Yep. Alma says we had all our basic furniture and kitchen stuff new. Our agency said they're required to buy new mattresses. Yeah, they can't give you a used mattress. Yep. Oh, yeah, people are trying to screen grab me. Yep. Delia says I cheer her up. Well, I'm glad, Delia, because I know you're bummed out. Carl Duplessis says thank you. Henrik, okay. Tennessee's lovely. All right. But Nashville's got some problems. Good Lord, the chat's really coming. Chat rate's 28 tonight, by the way. The fact that I'm reading any chat's amazing because you guys have been... Chat rate is 28. It's pretty amazing tonight. Ready to move to our house. America's been good. Okay, Alma, that's good to hear. You're welcome, Candide. It's my pleasure. God bless and have a good evening, folks. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have a new one. This wasn't planned for homeschooling for South Africans. Homeschooling in general. It's going to be Lehani Oosthuizen, who is, of course, the family that has Bruce the Service Dog and her daughter Levi. And Bruce the Service Dog. She'll be on tomorrow, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I haven't set that up yet. So that's coming tomorrow, okay? All right. So hope you enjoy that. Tuesday, we've got the Briberoos with Byron Shepard and myself, a collab, and then also Professor G and I. That's coming up. And Wednesday, we've got Minri for a repeat interview. All right? That's it, guys. Have a good one. Be well. Thanks for being here. Cheers, and be safe.